Shalom Aleichem and Baruchim Habayim. Moshe Langado here, speaking under the auspices of Kollel, Baruch Ahavat Israel in Southern California, and Sha'rei Tziyon here in Brooklyn, New York. This week we'll be reading Parshat Korach. Korach was a very tragic individual. He was a great man, but he set a revolution, a rebellion, a mutiny against Moshe Rabbeinu. And his reasoning was not correct. In Yahadut, in Judaism, we have a Kabbalistic tool to understand the depth of personalities and the depth of mitzvot, called Gematria. Gematria means we take our letters and we transfer them into numbers. And through that transfer, we can understand deeper concepts. Let us take the personalities of Korach and Moshe. Moshe has a gematria of 345. The mem is 40. The shin is 300. And the hay is 5, giving us 345. Korach, on the other hand, is Kuf 100, Resh 200, Chet 8, 308. What is the difference between Moshe and Korach? 37, the number 37. 37 is the number associated with Hevel, the second son of Chava. He was 37. When we learn the story of Adam and Chava, their first son was named Cain. For Chava said, I now acquired. Cain, acquisition. Cain was one who acquired. He was aggressive, and he was able to acquire and to create. While Hevel, the Torah doesn't give the reason why Chava called him Hevel. But we do know. Hevel habalim amarka Hevel elet. What does the word Hevel mean? Vanities. Vanities does not mean vain, as we think it means. But in days of old, vanities mean like you swear in vain for no reason. It's hot air. Hevel was just hot air. He was humble. What is Hevel? Its gematria is 37. Take away the humbleness of Hevel from Moshe, so you have 345 minus 37. What do you receive? You have Cain. Take Cain's numerical value of 308 and give him the humbleness of Hevel, and you have Moshe, you have 345. What was missing in Korach? What was missing was the humbleness. He was aggressive. He wanted to be better. He wanted to grow. He wanted to be the Kohen. He wanted to be the Kohen Gadol. But he didn't have that humbleness which was needed. He didn't have the attribute of Hevel. When God created the two first boys, Cain and Hevel, each one had a great midah, character. One being extremely humble, one being extremely aggressive. Put them both together, and you have something great. Only have one, and you're sorely missing something. Who was the one who was able to put both of them together? The concept of humbleness and the concept of aggressiveness. Moshe Rabbeinu. He was the most humble man on earth, but he reached heights which no other man reached. He had, I don't know if the right word is aggressive, but he had an aggressiveness to him. He was able to talk to God Almighty and tell him, don't destroy your people. He was able to talk to God Almighty at the burning bush. I do not want this position. I do not want this responsibility of having to take Bnei Israel out of Mitzrayim. He had the humbleness, but at the same time he was able to mesh it with the midah of kain, of being a person of self-worth, knowing what he wants. Rabotai, let us learn from Moshe and Korach, not to only have the midah of kain, but also to mesh it with the midah of hevel, and so we could be true students of Moshe Rabbeinu. Shabbat Shalom.